All right, guys, we are live here back in San Diego at our new digs, which is our new office here, located just off the 56 in Torrey Highlands. So thanks you guys all for joining. And as per usual, please let us know where you guys are watching from. Because we always like to know if you guys are local here in San Diego, throughout the country, throughout the world, as we have people from all walks of life here joining us in San Diego. It'll just be me for the time being. Dan Parker is going to join us, hopefully, but he is running a little bit behind. So I will keep you guys company until that happens. And as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat as we talk about everything San Diego, from the housing market to what's going on here in San Diego and everything in between. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for always joining us. I know I brought this up last time. Let me know what types of video you guys want to see in the future. Do you want to see more neighborhood tours? More like destination places, like we did a UTC video recently, just kind of giving tours of different activities here in San Diego. So whatever you guys are interested, we definitely want to put those videos out for you. Or if you just want more housing market videos, because that's what seems what everybody always wants these days, especially with the high interest rates we have here in San Diego. We have Star Platinum, who always joins us from Orlando. Thanks for watching. We got SD Ken. Ken, what's up? What's happening? Nice to see you. So I'm going to get right into this here. We might only go for like 30, 40 minutes here today. So like I said, if you guys have questions, feel free to chime in and we'll get to it. Okay, let me see if I can share this. Open system. Why is it not doing that? Give me 1 second, as it's not letting me share per usual. It's not working. Okay. One time I didn't check to see if this worked beforehand. Window, let's try this one. Share. There we go. We're in business here. Okay. So let's see. Ken, things are going well. I'm glad to see you. Hopefully you guys are doing well. So, oh, and then of course, Burn has to go to I hate to watch the Phillies. You are actually correct. That is why I need to be gone in 45 minutes, because the Phillies start at 5:08 here in San Diego time. So thanks for noticing that. Appreciate it. Okay, San Diego. We have the MLS team leases a 28-acre site on Saquon. I always say that wrong. Saquon reservation for 150 million training campus. The only thing I'm going to say about this thing is like it's going to be really hot practicing at that reservation in the middle of the summer. So I'm assuming they practice in the summer. That will be quite the heat there. So, but a huge campus there for the future San Diego MLS team, which is going to be announced on October 20th of this year. So if you're looking forward to see what the name of that team is going to be, they're going to have like a little festival on October 20th, announcing their uniforms, their crest, and their team name. And it sounds like one of the team names is probably going to be something like San Diego United or San Diego FC. So if you're a big soccer fan, tune in on October 20th to see what goes on there. Just so you know where this little campus is. This is where their training facility is going to be. It's going to basically east of El Cajon, right here on this little part of this golf course, the Singing Hills Golf Resort at Saquon. So that's, it's a little bit of a hike. You can see out here. So they practice, or they have games over here. Wait, where is it? Off the 15, yeah, right in this general vicinity. And they're going to be practicing all the way out here. So I'm sure the MLS team's going to love that traffic getting out of there. So, okay, what else is going on here in San Diego? The Midway Rising project. This is where the San Diego Sports Arena is getting torn down and getting rebuilt. They scrapped the hotel and middle-income homes from Sports Arena project. The hotel, I mean, I guess that would have probably been nice to have over there if people come down for games. But the middle-income project, the reasoning was not super, not the best reason I ever heard. So Midway District has erased a 200-room hotel from its project and is no longer planning to construct a 250 residential units for middle-income families, with infrastructure and financing complications blamed for the charges. So they're blaming higher interest rates on not being able to build middle-income housing units. And the reason why they can't build a hotel is because The development team says it's no longer feasible to build 250 residential income units. Instead, the team will build market rate units. So presumably to make more money off them. But I thought part of the reason they went with this project is because they were going to build a certain amount of affordable housing. Now they're changing that tune because of interest rates. And the reason why they can't do the hotel anymore is because there's a sewer line that runs directly under there that now they have to put the stadium where the hotel was going to be. So it limits some of the space that they're going to need for the hotel. So I guess there will be no hotel there at all. So we'll see how that goes. So if you're looking for a hotel at Midway Rising or middle income housing, you will be disappointed, unfortunately. Okay, I just thought this was interesting. The International Space Station will be easy to see from San Diego County this week. So if you're looking for the San Diego Space Station, look for it on Thursday night for 6 minutes at 7:39 p.m. or for 7 minutes on Friday starting at 6:51 p.m. There will also be a high quality 5-minute viewing opportunity on Sunday starting at 6:52 p.m. So if you want to see the space station, look for it on those 3 dates. Just thought that was a fun fact of the day. It will resemble a shiny ball bearing as it moves across the sky. So just so you know, it's not aliens. It's the International Space Station flying above. And like I said before, if you guys are just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. We always like to hear where people are watching from. And if you were planning on moving to San Diego, or if you already live here in San Diego, we'd love to hear about it. Okay. Next, this is one. We actually just bought tickets for this. We've been talking about going to the Grinch Stole Christmas at the Old Globe this year, or for many years now. And this is the first year we actually bought tickets for it. They're also doing the tree lighting ceremony on November 12th. So we are going to the November 12th show to go to the tree lighting directly after. So if you guys have ever wanted to do it, tickets just went on sale like a week ago or so. And it looks like there's still plenty of tickets available. I know it's a little early for Christmas time, but I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, so let me see what else we have. Let's see. Let's go to a few. Let me unshare this for 1 second. Stop screen. Go Giants, Roland Osage. If you guys ever need to move to Oakland, don't reach out to Roland Osage because he is a Giants fan. Just kidding. He's a new dad. Roland's all right. I'm going to miss the San Diego Loyal. Yes, and that's the other thing. So we are getting the San Diego MLS team coming to San Diego, which name to be determined. But we are unfortunately losing the San Diego Loyal. I actually saw Landon Donovan over the weekend. He actually let me in at my son's soccer game over the weekend. So that is a bummer. We are losing the Loyal, but hopefully maybe I don't know if some of those players can actually play for the MLS team here or how that works, but it is a bummer we're losing. We get one team, but lose another, kind of the way it goes with San Diego, unfortunately. I hope Kobe swap meets figures out where they'll be. Yeah, because that's used to where the swap meet used to be down there. I guess is this still going on down there, Ken? I think it is, but I'm sure they're going to find a place for them because that is a very popular swap meet here in San Diego. La Jolla Shores, Coronado, Point Loma, Ocean Beach, and Pacific Beach are my favorite surrounding beach towns in San Diego. Yes, those are all excellent. We've done videos on most of these ones. Let's see. We've done Pacific Beach. I haven't done Point Loma or Ocean Beach, but we've done Coronado, La Jolla Shores. So we will try to do more of those videos in the near future. Okay, now let's get into some of the housing market stuff because this is probably why most people like to come for this. Okay, we talked about Mr. Grinch. And see if I can find where my file is. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Goldman Sachs raises mortgage rate forecast. So I did a video on this like maybe 2 weeks ago about housing market, or about mortgage rates specifically. About everyone thought by this time, at the end of this year, the beginning of this year, they all were saying the interest rates were probably going to be around 5.8 to 6% range. We are currently close to 8% on it mortgage rates. So everybody's predictions were 1,000% off pretty much, including my own. I thought they would have been at least in the low 6s by now, but clearly that's going to take a little bit longer for us to get to where we need to be. I also think, well, we'll get into this in a minute here. So Goldman Sachs updated their projections for mortgage rates. The bank now expects mortgage rates to rise to 7.1% by the end of 2023, which is odd because they're already over 7.1%. I think I just saw 7.7% today. So I think that might be a decrease to 7.1% by the end of 2023. That's up from its previous estimate of 6.6%. Danny Romero will discuss the forecast and why Goldman Sachs is. And here's another article that just came out today. San Diego's resale home price hits an all-time high here in San Diego. The price of resale single-family homes in San Diego County hit a record high in August of $958,000. August new peak beat the previous record by $8,000 reached back in April of 2022, which is pretty much the peak of the housing market over the last couple of years before prices came down. And now they went back up again, just with much higher interest rates, which is pretty much shocking to me. Resale condos also hit a high of $680,000 here in San Diego. Current homeowners with lower mortgage rates locked in are less likely to put homes up for sale at the moment, pushing inventory to historic lows. And we've talked about this many times on the channel here. The big reason why prices are not coming down and why the market has not crashed or at least come down is because of the lack of inventory we have here in San Diego. And unfortunately, I don't think this is going to change anytime soon. I was thinking maybe even the spring it should, like if the rates came down, then more people will be out there putting their house on the market. But I think there's going to be some lagging indicators, as they say it. So it might not even happen until like the following, like late summer or early fall before people catch up to it. If rates even go down, which now they're saying they might not go down as first thought. So we'll see. Goldman said it's possible prices could go up further if interest rates start to come down, but betting on when rates will drop hasn't worked out for many analysts, which is what I talked about. We talked about the Mortgage Banking Association, Fannie Mae, Goldman Sachs. Everyone had a forecast that rates would be much lower than they are right now. I think everyone kind of thought that, unfortunately, and pretty much everyone was wrong. The price of a resale single-family home, assuming a 20% down payment, has gone up considerably as a result of rates. The monthly payment would have been around $4,600 compared with $5,400 in August. So that is the story that's been around for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. Prices actually kind of bottomed out in like January of this past year. Like the median home price went down to $850,000, but now we're back up at $950 right now. So yes, it's been a bit of a roller coaster this year for mortgage rates and for house prices. Okay. There have been some signs of a slight softening in the market in recent weeks, likely the result of mortgage rates still rising. In August, Redfin said only about 4.8% of San Diego homes had a price drop, compared with 5.8% in the last 4 weeks. Also, the median days on market in August were around 14, compared with 15.7 days in the last month. So I actually did a little research of this on myself. So I just went on redfin.com and see how many houses were for sale in San Diego County, as well as how many price drops there were among those homes in the last 30 days. And this is what I found. So there was 30,894 homes currently for sale in San Diego County, and there were 737 price reductions, which is 18.9%. So again, a lot of those stats we were just reading were from August, and mine were basically from September. So if you are been trying to buy a house here or sell a house in the month of September, you may have felt something a little bit different these last 30 days because the market has softened quite a bit, especially in that higher price range, like around, if you're looking around like 1.6, 1.7 and above, you'll probably see a little bit more price reductions than you would have normally seen. But that, 600 to 1.2 range is still pretty popular. You will still see multiple offers on a lot of those properties. But again, if you're in that higher price range, I didn't see that. I didn't check to see how many of these of 737 were actually higher priced homes, but I'm guessing quite a few of them were over that mark, which I should be curious to check. So I should check that out. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, housing market, more home sellers dropped. This is the other thing I was just talking about. Dropped their asking price as mortgage rates hit 2 decades high. So 5.8% sharp monthly increase compared to the same period in years past. And if they do this next month in the September numbers, I think they will even see a higher percentage, like I just showed you guys. So, oh, this was interesting too. So indicators of home buying demand and activity, everything seems to be down except for mortgage rates, up from 6.8%. Mortgage rate there is 7.65. Year over year is 6.8%. So that's gone up. And this one, 30-year fixed mortgage rate, 6.29 to 7.19. Mortgage purchase applications down 2%, but down 27% total year over year change. And then Redfin Home Buyer Demand Index, this is just kind of their own index that they created, down 7%. Redfin Home Buyer Demand Index, a measure of requests for tours and other home buying services from Redfin agents. And then Google searches for just the word homes for sale is down 12%. So as you can see, demand for housing has gone down quite a bit. Now that the summer's over and interest rates have actually gone up, there's been a lot less demand for housing here. So if you're looking to buy a house in the next couple months, I think you actually will probably get a pretty good deal on the house. But you will be paying a much higher interest rate. I think the thought behind that is a lot of people will probably try to refinance in the next 12 months. So if you are able to lock in a price, because like I've said in the past, if you are trying to buy a house now, yes, the price is actually, you'll probably get a little bit better price on the people were buying just 2 months ago, but you will have a higher interest rate, maybe 7.5%. Jumbos are a little bit lower. There's also some credit unions out there that are giving better rates on certain ones. I think California Credit Union, someone told me they were getting like 5.5%. I think that was on an ARM, but still, if you're only going to do it for a couple of years and then refinance, might be something you want to check out if you so desire. Okay, I just wanted to show you one other thing about what your payment was. So if say you bought a year and a half ago for $1 million at 3.5% interest rate, 30-year loan versus $1 million today at 7% interest rate, your payment would be quite different, $4,400 versus $6,600. And then your total interest paid over that 30 years is quite dramatic, as you can see, $616,000 to almost $1.4 million in interest. So quite a big difference does an interest rate make. Okay, see if you got any questions. I'm doing this solo, so this is a little bit more challenging for me, guys, so bear with me. We have our guest has arrived. Sorry, Dan, I'm not sure how long you've been waiting.
I've been on long enough to hear you say you're solo and you need some help. So here I am, Bern.
Perfect timing, Dan. Thank you for waiting. I'm hearing an echo. Do you hear an echo?
I am, yeah.
Does that mean?
It's got to be on your end.
Okay, hang on. Audio.
I like the shirt, though.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think the echo's gone.
Hello? Oh, I'm still hearing it.
Oh, it's when you talk. How is that possible?
Yeah. On echo cancellation. Jeez. Let me switch to my other speaker. Is that any better?
No, I think so.
No, I'm still hearing it on my end. You guys hear my echo, or is it just hearing the echo? Let me know in the comments if you guys can hear an echo.
And if so, we probably won't do anything about it, but we'll acknowledge.
We probably won't. We're gonna go well. So, I'm just gonna go with this. Going back to my other microphone.
Star Platinum agrees. What's up, YouTube Car Spotter Guide? An SD Ken? What is cracking?
One of our frequent visitors of the channel.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I want to see more three-story townhome developments in the near future.
Yeah,
I would like to see just more development in general that people can actually buy. It's been challenging for people to find houses.
You know what I've seen is a lot of like 3-story detached properties that look like they're townhomes, like they're technically detached, so they could get a little bit more a higher price point. Probably is the main reason.
Yeah, but it's basically a townhome. There's a bunch over here whereby Lennar's made a bunch of those. And
they're talking about your echo.
Oh, they hear it?
Yeah, you want to try to fix it again?
Why am I?
I'm just very confused how it happened when I started.
Yeah, it wasn't doing it before. Yeah, is it on your side?
Kick me out and see if it still happens.
Okay. Hello. It's not happening, so it's on his side. Okay, Dan will be with us in a minute. Don't worry. He's trying to jump out because it's obviously gone away now. So I don't hear it anymore. Okay, what was I talking about before Dan rudely interrupted us all? Oh, just loan payments here. Dan should be with us. Here he is. Yes. Technical difficulties, guys, but bear with us here as we iron out the details here. Okay, let's go to something. I already talked about that. Okay. All right, Dan. You there?
Talk again.
I'm here.
Oh,
Okay, I think we fixed it. It's gone.
how about that?
Yeah, you're good.
Are you good?
I'm good. I don't hear the echo anymore. So
Okay, I think we got it. I think we got it. My end. It's my fancy
don't blame me, Dan.
Roadcaster Pro
control until you got here. Okay.
might be.
Yes, and then we can see here echo. Good. Okay. Okay, what was I talking about? Anybody remember?
Sorry, guys.
Just talking about housing market. So Dan, let's talk a little bit because I kind of went through a lot of the housing market stuff already.
Yep.
What have you seen out there in the housing market in the last 30 days specifically?
It's always a unique market. It's been nothing but a unique market over the last couple of years. Every time we feel like we get a grasp on it, then things start to change again. But what we've seen a lot in the last 2 months is we've definitely seen a cool down. We've seen a freeze, which is what I was talking about in my video last weekend. Is some homes are sitting on the market a little bit of time, but a lot of the homes that my buyers we're getting in multiple offer scenarios. So there's
what price points are they? Are they more around like the $1 million mark, or are they more higher price points or lower?
It's 1.2 to 1.5 and under is definitely where
I was saying that the market like over like 1.7 and above, he seems to be the one that's getting hit the hardest. But that $1 million to $1.5 million range is still moving pretty good because I mean that's just what more people can afford. Like there's just less people that can afford 1.7, 2 million plus homes. So especially with these higher interest rates.
But like, here's a scary thing. We've talked about low inventory for a long time. And again, we're in another situation where we have record low inventory for this time of year. We have the amount of inventory and the amount of demand that we usually have in December right now. And so it's a little bit scary thinking about what's going to happen over the next 4 to 6 months, because can it get lower? It doesn't feel like it can get lower, but based on the way things are going, when I'm out with my clients and putting in offers, it just seems like that's the only thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going to go to like 0 homes for sale, but being 20, what was it, like around 2,500 homes for sale right now in all of San Diego County, and we have 3 million people that live here in San Diego County. So it's just
rising,
incredible, and more people coming. So 2,500 homes is just not sustainable. And I don't really see. I was thinking like springtime, people would come out more and probably sell if rates come down. Rates will probably be a little bit lower than they are now in the spring, but they're not probably going to be as low as people thought they were going to be originally.
Yeah, so, they're not coming down this year, that's for sure.
No. I mean, this year, like people are going to keep raising their forecast. I mean, is it really a forecast when you're predicting something 2 months away? So it's just like, but everybody would like we're saying I think Mortgage Bankers Association said they were going to be at 5.8% by the end of this year, and now everyone keeps raising it. Okay, now it's going to be like 6.2, and now 6.5, and now Goldman Sachs I think said 7.1 or something like that by the end of the year. So we're definitely not going down. Not going down quickly, at least.
I think we might hit 8.
Better. Say again.
I think we might hit 8.
Yeah, which I was like, no, I was like, if you say we're going to hit 8%, I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to 9, but I can see
we're like
getting
right on the brink of it. So I don't know. I think they're just trying to bring them up so high that like it just stops people from buying. Problem is, it's stopping people from selling. So it's kind of the same story we talk about each and every week, I feel like, these days.
Well, I'll bring up something new, Bern. I got a question for you because someone asked me this on my channel, and they were asking because we're seeing nationwide rental prices are coming down. Now, I haven't looked.
I've seen it in San Diego too.
Okay, so it's a little bit in San Diego as well. Have you seen or seen any evidence of an influx of people selling their homes that were renting them out but are having a hard time renting them out?
I have not at all seen
Yeah.
it yet. I mean, that could be a lagging indicator too. Like, say they weren't getting as much rent for it, because I like just in my neighborhood alone, they're like the houses were renting for like 6,000 like last summer, and now they're renting for like 52 to 5,400. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a gigantic drop, but that's still, $700-800 difference from when it was selling just last summer. So, they're coming down, but they're just. I think it'll probably have to go through another year of them decreasing before people would start to sell them again, I think.
Yeah. In my experience, I think you're probably along the same line as me, Bern, is I really haven't had investors looking for long-term rentals in the last 2 years because it's
No,
been so hard to make it work. So people assuming or hoping that the influx in homes, because there's always got to be a catalyst, is going to come from investors that aren't making any money because rental prices are coming down. Well, there hasn't been any investors in the last 2 years that are just buying a home as is and putting it on the rental market because it's so much more expensive to own a home than to rent a home right now. So the
sure.
numbers just haven't worked for the last couple of years. So
Yeah, I
most
mean,
people are sitting on equity.
in the beginning of the pandemic, I had a bunch of people that were wanted to buy properties during. It was, I guess, they could foresee like this is a good buying opportunity because prices did come down in the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Now they've shot up clearly, but now it doesn't really pencil out a lot for it to buy a home and trying to rent it. I mean, long term, you could bet on like prices going up long term, so eventually it could pay for itself. But in the short term, no one's making any money on investment properties if you're buying them right now, for the most
Yep.
part. And I've seen some people like try to buy a house like over by SDSU and then try to build like an ADU on the property to like increase the value that way. But even that way, it's just, with the prices the way they are and how much it costs to build an ADU, still doesn't always pencil out. So
Well, I can give you an exact example, Bern. You said over by San Diego State. I just had a listing go live 5 days ago over by San Diego
that
State
was
in
perfect timing. That was a good
in the
segue.
city of San Diego. I know. Thanks. I messaged you this earlier, and I'm like, hey, make sure to bring it.
Talk about SCSU so we can bring this into the conversation. So how much? Actually, I didn't even see this. What's the property and how much is it?
So it's in the college area. It's listed at 900,000. It is currently tenant occupied. So we're selling it with tenants. The tenants are paying $3,500 a month. Although, to be honest, it's their under market value should be closer to 4,000. Even with rental prices coming down, I don't think there'd be any problem.
Are they students in the house?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay.
But so they're renting. Let's just say rent is 4,000 a month. It's $900,000 house. If you were to get a mortgage or 20% down, you're looking at $6,500-ish a month, $6,000 to $6,500 a month. So it's a $2,000 gap.
Sure.
And so that's the market that we're in right now. Is it's not hard to make it pencil out. It's like impossible. And if you want to build an ADU, great. That's going to be $250,000, and it's going to take 2 years.
Sure. Can you fit an ADU on that property?
I think so. Yeah. And the rules and regulations are so easy that you could do it around the county pretty easily, although it takes time. But it's not a perfectly flat property, which would make it challenging.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, I'll check it out. Maybe I'll buy it. Probably not. Okay. Let's see. We got a couple of questions here. 4,500 for a beater house. Well, yeah, it depends on what neighborhood you're in, but could be.
Yeah. Definitely depends on the
Oh,
neighborhood.
I haven't seen Bane in a while. Oh my God, I made a live chat. Welcome to the chat, Bane. Good to see you here. We also people with a 3% interest rate, if they have to move and they can afford it, why sell when they can keep the rate and rent? Yes, this is true. But the problem is sometimes people need to, if they do want to move, they need to sell that house to buy their next house. But if they're going to keep it and then rent out another house, that kind of defeats the purpose of having an investment property a little bit too. So
yeah, I think you nailed it there. It's not sometimes, strong majority of times people can't afford to buy another $1 million house in San Diego County unless they sell their other house. And yes, like lenders can utilize rental income as part of income to help get financing for that next property, but they can't do it when you're not currently renting it out.
Yep.
So you can't just move in that new property and get that rental income.
If this was like 2006, you could get away with that, but in 2023, it's not going to work as well.
Yep.
What else was I just going? I just had a thought. And I lost it. Oh, I put a little. Let me put this up on the thing. Let me see if I have it still.
But yes, Hubert, that's a big part of the reason why we're not seeing homes hitting the market right now. Why the inventory is so low? Why there's so few homes for sale?
Correct. Okay, I put up a little a poll on my Facebook, or not Facebook page, on my YouTube page. So seeing what it would take for people to sell their homes in this market. I've only had a few. If you have not voted already, can you go to the channel there and
Can you drop that comment there, Bern, so we can see it better?
Drop the comment. Oh,
yeah.
Boop. There you go. Let me drop that banner too. There we go. Okay, so what would have to happen for you to sell your home right now? So 12 votes right now. If you have not voted, I'm just curious to see what people say, because we know what we would say, but I always like to see what people watching would say. What would have to happen for you to sell your home right now? So only 12 votes, higher paying job, move out of state, job relocation seems to be number one. Rates would have to drop 17%. I'll never sell 17%. So I had a feeling, I wasn't quite sure actually what would win this thing. So I'd be curious after everybody else votes where these numbers end up, because that would be
what's interesting here, Bern, is those top two are very similar. Like most people that clicked on either one of those, it's going to be a job related scenario where they're either making more money or relocating out of state. So 70% of people are saying that it would have to be job related.
It's funny, no one's saying they need more or less space.
Yeah,
that's usually, I think that was, someone did a chart of this recently and said that was the number one reason. But no one out of the 12 people, no one has said that. So I'm curious what would make you move. You just bought a house, so I guess that does not, you're not going to move anytime soon.
Yeah, if we're not moving anytime soon. We just did a little expansion in the garage as well. So new YouTube studio coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Are you done the remodel, or are you still going?
It's mostly done. The IKEA furniture is built.
Oops. I removed you by accident. Sorry.
It's all good. And I'll be moving up there in the next couple of days.
Awesome. Very well.
Yep.
I'll look out for it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oops, where did I leave off on the questions? Also, okay. I'm near SDSU and everyone is trying to do ADUs, no parking. Yeah, that parking, they got to figure out that parking thing, because that's a pain in the butt over there.
Mm-hmm.
They're not building any parking garages, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Garage is easy for a ADU to like turn a garage into an ADU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But a lot of people are actually building physical ADUs, not just using the garages too.
But it brings down the price substantially and the time in a lot of cases.
You guys are wonderful. I miss San Diego. Well, you should come back, Alex.
Appreciate it, Alex.
Yes. Okay. It's crazy how I can't even move out of my home on an entry-level job and affording a place on my own. Got to stay where I'm at for a while. Yeah, I mean, prices here are, I wouldn't be able to live in the house that I'm in now if I had to buy it today. What I bought back in 2016. So unless we absolutely had to move, we probably wouldn't sell it either. So I'm in the same boat as everybody else.
Here's the other thing to keep in mind is, look, it's absolutely is a incredibly challenging market to be a first-time home buyer. And it doesn't seem like any relief is coming anytime soon. But like, Bern, you have that house. We have our house because we bought a house and we're able to ratchet up into the next property. But we made some equity. Obviously, we're in a time where it was a lot easier to do that. But long-term, home values are going to go up and to the right. And so I think a lot of people that are looking at it and thinking, oh, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in a highly rated school district with a pool, or, whatever, like whatever you feel is your starter home. I feel like a lot of people, you might just have to have the opportunity to look at, all right, well, maybe our first home needs to be a townhome. Maybe it needs to be an attached property that's in a nice area. It still can hit a lot of the things that we need, but that's our way into the market. And then a couple of years down the line, hopefully we can use that to ratchet up into the next property.
Well, that's what we did. We bought our house. This was a little while ago now. Our first condo, in 2012. Yeah. And then for $405, we sold it for $655 3 years later. Now, I'm not saying everybody's home is going to go up $250,000 right after 3 years after they buy it. But that's, sometimes the only way people can actually buy a house is by doing those things. So just don't look for your perfect home the first time you're going out there. That's all I have to
Yep.
say, because it's just, I mean, my first condo, we had like one window that looked at another building directly. It was like the worst unit in the entire building, but we were still able to sell it at a pretty good increase because it was like in a good location. So
Yeah.
I always like try to find the worst place in the best location. You usually can't go wrong with that. So
Yeah.
even the
Like
house that we
that's
bought, like it needed to be completely remodeled when we bought it, but it was in a
oh
really good
really?
town that we really liked. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was the house is about 20 years old now, so everything was
Mhm.
like original 2000
Gotcha.
like two, so it wasn't in bad shape, but it was just wasn't to modern day standards basically. So
Yeah. Been lived in. A little out of date.
it had been lived in. The previous family had like four like teenage boys, and then like they destroyed it. So. Super nice family though, sure. Okay, what else we got? What do you guys think of owner finance selling? It gives buyer less interest,
I
right?
love this.
Like
I love
6%
it.
of 7.5%. And with owner financing is basically exactly what it sounds like. You can whatever the owner is willing to offer to you, and it's usually less than what a bank will. You just got to find someone that's willing to do it. So the other option is like assumable loans, which are
Yes.
also sometimes hard to it's hard to do it while you're like when the house is on the market. If you find someone that has one that you could do like off market, then that would work better, I think.
So here's the thing. In this might even be Bain. I might be misinterpreting here, but this might be what you're actually referring to as the assumable mortgage, because that's we're seeing a lot of videos of people talking about how amazing these assumable mortgages are. And what that is you buy a house from somebody, you're assuming their mortgage so you can inherit their 3% mortgage interest rate, and everything's going to be amazing because they only have a 3% mortgage interest rate. Well, for one, they're very complex. It's not easy. Instead of a 21-day or 30-day escrow, it might take 45 or 60 days to assume that. But the second problem, and this is the bigger problem, is it's only for their loan amount. So if it's $1 million house, but they've owned it for 4 years, they bought it at, let's say, $650,000, $700,000,
Mhm.
and they've paid off some of that mortgage. Now there's only, like $500,000 left. So now it's only a $500,000 loan. How are you gonna make up that other $500,000? So that's the key there that a lot of people don't talk about and makes it extremely unrealistic. I've never seen or heard anyone actually successfully utilizing that.
Yeah, I know it has happened. I think it's actually probably easier in other parts of the country where prices aren't so like
Yeah.
hugely different. Like if it's went from 400 to 450 or versus 1 million to 2 million or something like that. So I know it can be done. It's just like it's easier if it's not on the market, probably like it's or like a friend that they're selling it that has
Yep.
a suitable loan, which there's no like rush or time frames. But like in this market, if there's three offers and like, oh, we want to do an assumable loan, everyone's gonna be like, get out of here.
Yes. 100%.
So yeah, it can be done, just tough. Okay, I only have like 5 more minutes, but we'll go through these real quick. Um, how long do you think rentals properties will stay low? I think they'll stay low in the 20. I wouldn't say this is low. I just think they're lower than they were. So if the home was renting for 6,000, now it's 5,500. It's going down. I don't think it's going to shoot back up. Especially, I do a lot of the North County neighborhoods, which is very school centric. So if you're looking for a rental in the off season, you're definitely probably going to have better luck than like if you try to do it in the summertime. Sometimes rental prices go up a little bit in the summertime, and then they go down a little bit in the fall winter time. But I don't see them going up, into 2024 considerably. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. The rental market is definitely not our specialty, but I think it's kind of like the regular housing market. I think we could see rental prices coming down pretty significantly across the country. I just don't see that happening here because there's
I
so
know.
few homes. Like
That's
between
why I'm actually
buying and
surprised the rental market has come down that much, just
yeah,
because there's still a demand. Like, where are all these people going? They're not all
yep.
buying houses, so or they're leaving. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because I know it's not easy for people out there with how much prices have gone up and a lot of salaries and wages staying the same. But yeah, supply and demand. There's just not
For
enough
sure.
supply.
Wow, Burn, you removed Dan. I accidentally removed you. I'm not sure if you even noticed, Dan. I removed you by accident for just 1 second.
I did, and that was very rude of you,
Okay.
Bern. Thanks for calling him out,
I had
SD
enough of
Ken.
you for one live. So. Thanks, Ken. I heard on CNBC that you used to be able to assume the mortgage on the house you bought. they are talking about bringing that back. So is that or assumable loan? You can assume somebody else's loan, but you already own the house, so why you don't have to assume? Am I misunderstanding that?
I think maybe he's saying that you somehow can just get the rate that someone had without assuming the loan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you
He
can.
might.
Almost not all loans are assumable. Some are, some aren't. You just if
Yeah.
you're trying to buy that house, you can ask if that loan is assumable.
Yeah.
That's usually not the hard part. It's more like trying to get your offer accepted by trying to use
Yeah.
an assumable loan.
Exactly.
So who are the first-time home buyers? Tech people still moving down from Bay Area? I mean, I think there's a lot of people that want to be first-time home buyers. I just think it's very tough here in San Diego. I think there are areas of San Diego you can still buy a home. Like if I were moving here now, I probably would not be able to buy a home where I live, like in the area that I live. I probably would have had to go up to like San Marcos or Escondido or something like that to be able to buy a home. I'm thankful we bought a home when we did, but you got to start somewhere. So if it has to be in San Marcos to buy it, or Chula Vista, or somewhere like in Poway or East County or something like that, there's definitely places to do it. Just like don't look for your forever home. I think that's kind of the biggest. I think both the home, like your first home, my first home, was that your forever home that you're like, oh, this is my dream home. Can't wait. Thank God I got it.
Yeah, definitely not. But it was our foot in the door, man.
Yeah.
But I think to like specifically answer the question,
Yes.
the quantity of first-time homebuyers in this market is quite limited. It's down substantially from a year ago and 2 years ago. But the people that are first-time homebuyers buying homes, in my experience, are usually people that have been moving around from area to area for a while, or like
Sure.
knew that they weren't going to stay where they were at for a while and have been saving up. And a lot of times, honestly, like maybe having help with down payment from family.
I've seen that a lot of times. And actually, the offers I see getting out there, because I had a listing over by me in Torrey Highlands, and this is sort of unrelated to that, but like the amount of down payment people had for the houses there were most of them were between like 40 and 50% down on a $1.6 million house.
Yeah.
So there's clearly people with a lot of money either getting from family, or they have a really good paying job, that are moving to San Diego or trying to buy homes here in San Diego. I'm not seeing a lot of 5 and 10% downs, especially on the higher price points. And they also probably want to keep their monthly payments down by putting more money down too. So.
Yep. But yeah, also a lot of tech people.
There's lots of tech people. The guy that put an offer on my Park Village homes was a Google employee. So yes, there's lots of those. I can't afford the homes today. Yep. Okay, just 2 more questions. And
3 minutes, Burn. 2.5 minutes.
Okay, yay for the young kids like me and my buddy. We just plan to buy as a duo, potentially with houses. I mean, that's the way to do it too. If you have put 2 incomes together and be able to buy a house, and you can both build equity together, it's not a bad idea.
When we bought our first house, the payment was uncomfortable to us, so we rented out our room for 2 years.
There you go. Yeah. There's always ways to do it if you're comfortable doing that thing. I plan to build it myself an ADU. But both of us are in the strong 6-figure incomes, and it still doesn't make sense to try and solo buy in high demand markets. Yeah, if you can fit an ADU on your property and rent that out in the back, or if like you guys go separately and one lives in the front, one lives in the back eventually, that's also a way to do it.
House hack.
That's right. For owner finance, what if where the seller owns the house? So if the seller owns that house, like completely paid off, he can act as a bank and offer a loan to people who wants to buy it. You just have to find a seller that's willing to do that. A lot of sellers are not willing to be a bank because it's risk on them. Like, what if you default on it and all this other stuff too? So I would say seller financing is not something I see regularly here in San Diego. But
yeah, you don't see it when it's a seller's market.
No,
you see it when it's a buyer's market.
Right. Because then they want to try to make it themselves as appealing as possible to try to get it going. So okay, a lot more rentals out there in the last few months due to low law with Airbnb rules. Met 6 landlords dealing with that while we were shopping around. I remember you telling me that, Brian. Seems like a protracted effect as units needs to be transitioned to long-term rentals. Yeah, I mean, the Airbnb, like from what I understand, has the Airbnb thing gotten completely full yet? The permits? I think that's still
in Mission Bay. It did right away.
Oh, it did.
In other areas, last I checked, there's still permits available.
Oh, crazy!
I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've checked.
I haven't looked at it recently, but maybe I'll talk about that on the next live. Okay, last thing I will do, then I gotta run. because the Phillies are playing today in playoffs. Stop screen. Where's my present? That's it. Am I sharing the screen right now? Why does it say stop screen?
Are you gonna kick me off again, Burn?
No, I'm trying not to, Dan. I'm trying to avoid that. Okay. Last but not least, I have my 3rd annual movie night this October 14th. So if you guys can make it, go to livinginsandiego.com and you can RSVP to the event. We have free popcorn, free ice cream, and free popcorn. So if you can, did I say popcorn twice? I'll put it in the chat there below as well. So if you guys can make it, it'd be great to see you. I know some of you guys are coming. I'm sure Dan will come again. 3rd time I'm doing it. He still hasn't shown up to it.
Is this next to your new office?
This is close to my office. It's like down the street from my office. So it's at a park right behind Westview High School. So if you guys can make it, we'd love to see you out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Dan, thank you for joining and being casually late per usual. Love having you on the show. And thanks for getting rid of the echo.
Thanks, Bern. Appreciate you.
Guys. Catch us next time. If you guys have not subscribed to Dan's channel, please do that now. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
All right. Peace.
Peace.